continue with our topic on praise and worship, and as we are still building on the attributes of God, the ones that we ought to align with as we worship Him, today we are going to look at why God would command us to worship or praise Him. Greetings, this is Pastor Faith Kioko from Barnabas, East Africa, inviting you even as we continue to learn, unlearn and relearn on the nuggets of praise and worship. Welcome on board. Now, building up on the nuggets on the attributes of God, we found out that God desires that we worship Him. In fact, He commands us to worship Him. Now, today we want us to look at why would God command us to worship Him. Taking us back into the book of Genesis and in the creation of man and how he was placed at the Garden of Eden, and he was given the instructions on how to live, on instruction on how to take care of the garden. And scripture says that at some point they did not obey and they were chased away from the garden. But since God is relational and God is love, He still gave them another chance so that they can continue having a relationship with Him. So we see the story of how God allowed the sons of God to mingle with the sons of men. And we see the introduction of Noah, the introduction of Lot, and how in their times destruction took over. Of course, we all understand in the time of Noah that the floods took over the earth and man was destroyed, and God gave them another chance, and this time through Lot, Sodom and Gomorrah, they were also destroyed by a fire. And all these things because man had channeled his heart to other things that God did not like. So when He brings them back again, and through the saving of Moses, getting them out of the land of Egypt, God chooses to give them the 10 Commandments so that they can be led through them. You see, in the other stories, we might say that there was no a tangible command on having that relationship with God. But in this time of Moses, we see the 10 Commandments. And the commandment number 1 is about man not having any other God in the place of God the Creator. So God desires that man, the one that He has created, continues to worship Him, continues to give Him the adoration that He so desires. So God has put up commandments, and one of them is that man should not have any other God besides Him, nor have any form of idol to put it in the place of worship. So I take that one as a command from the 10 Commandments, that God desires that we have Him as our object of worship, subject of worship, not object. Our subject is God. We are the ones offering Him our worship. So God is a jealous God, and He tells the Israelites that I am jealous. Therefore, you should not have any other God in my place. So God demands that we worship Him in totality. We worship Him with all of our minds. We worship Him with all of our emotions. We worship Him with all of our strength. He desires and He loves it. So when we take something else and put in His place, He is not pleased. And destruction is always waiting at the corner. So I pose this question to you, my viewer. What is that you have put in the place of God? God commands you and I that we may give Him worship in totality, without having any other shadows on the sideways. God demands our worship in totality. Are you obeying His command? Do you have any other thing that takes His place? God said that you should not have any other God besides me. And you see, in these 10 Commandments, most of them, they talk about us, human beings, because we are notorious of putting things in place of God and giving them our energy, giving them our focus, giving them priority, then forgetting the God that has given us the privilege of having these things in the first place. So it is a call to every one of us that we should not forsake this commandment, that every day of our lives we should go to God worshiping Him, knowing, number one, as much as it is part of our relationship with Him, it is also His command, and we are responding to this command that He has given to us. So praise and worship is done because God commands us, His creation, to worship Him. The Creator desires worship from the creation that He did with His own hands. Therefore, this is a call to every one of us. Let us obey the commandment that God has given. Have no other God besides me. Neither bow to any graven image in the name of God. God desires our worship. Let us give it